New military deployment is being made by a country in a tri-border area. Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti border area. Which country is deploying its forces, and could the other two countries respond? What is the reason behind this fresh deployment of forces by this country in this tri-border area? Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel. I have details for you about new military deployment in Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti border area. Secondly, update for you from Eritrea, where Muslim clerics were arrested by security forces 5 to 6 days ago, and a religious center, religious education center, Muslim religious education center was closed too. So I have an update about it from. Let's have a look at this update first, then the second story about deployment in tri-border area. I reported a few days ago about the closure of Quran memorization center in Gindar, which is in Eritrea. around 3,000 students were memorizing Quran there, but the government ordered the closure of the center without uh, telling the reason behind the decision. Sheikh Adam Shaban, the organizer of the institution, was summoned by local authorities. I did a video on that, and I informed you that the man was summoned to a local office where he was detained. Another Muslim scholar was also detained. His name is Hassan Shanati. Now, update for you is that Sheikh Adam Shaban and Hassan Shanati were briefly released. So, escorted by the security forces, they were allowed to visit their homes, from where they took their belongings, and then they were taken from their homes to Edi Abeto prison, which is in Asmara. It means that the brief detention of the two Muslim religious clerics has turned into imprisonment. Now they have been shifted to a prison, and now they'll suffer in the prison. They have no remedy. Families have no remedy. The issue, I think, has been internationalized. It came out, everyone covering it. That is why the Eritrean government is arresting Muslim scholars, accusing them of propagating the issue, of internationalizing the issue of the closure of the Quran memorization center. A viewer sent me an email. He said, Sajid, it's very unfortunate that some Eritrean opposition YouTube channels, news outlets are not covering this story. That just shows that Eritrean opposition is not united, and the opposition groups only work for the groups which they represent. If a group is ethnic, it is working to protect the interests of a particular ethnic group. It does not care about what is happening to other religious groups or ethnic groups in Eritrea. So, isn't there need for unity? He mentioned the name of a YouTube channel, Asina TV. He says, Asina is one of the well-known opposition Eritrean YouTube channels. It has not done a video on it so far. So it's a big news that a center closed and Muslim clerics arrested. Well, I don't know why Sin did not do a video on that, but yes, Eritrean opposition is not united. There are so many opposition groups formed along ethnic, religious, political lines. Unity is missing. Now back to the main story, which is from Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti border. The two countries share a border in a tri-border area: Ethiopian Afar region, Djibouti's Tajora region, and Eritrean southern Red Sea region share this border area, a tri-border area. Djibouti is making new deployments to this strategic area. New deployments of Djibouti's forces are being made on strategic places. Mount Musa, which is a mountain in this area, is a strategic place, high place. And there, Djibouti's military is preparing to make deployment. Its forces have arrived in the area. Obviously, it's on Djibouti side of the border. It's not on Eritrean or Ethiopian side of the border. But if Djibouti deploys its forces in Mount Musa from there, it can easily monitor the movement of forces, movement of uh, people across the border in both Eritrea and Ethiopia. Question is, why is Djibouti making this deployment? Why is there need for it? Well, what is being said is that Djibouti is concerned about rising tensions between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Military buildup on a far axis on Ethiopia-Eritrea border is being seen. If a war erupts, Djibouti knows that afar armed groups could try to take advantage of the situation to enter Djibouti. Djibouti has been seeing a far Somali-ISA conflict for years. FROD, Front for Restoration of Unity and Democracy, has been operating in Djibouti. Not in just, it's an armed group. It's a party to a political party, and it has an armed group, just like Ola or OFC, just like Ola OFC. So Fraud is operating in Ethiopian Afar region. It might get support from Eritrea too, especially if war breaks out. In that case, Fraud fighters will try to penetrate Djibouti and carry out attacks there. In January, Djibouti conducted a drone strike on border, Djibouti Ethiopia border. The drone strike was conducted allegedly against Fraud fighters. Some Ethiopian sources claim that the drone strike had been conducted on the Ethiopian side of the border. The sources still maintain that the strike happened on Ethiopian side of the border, but very close to the border area. So Djibouti wants to protect itself from the effect of likely Ethiopia-Eritrea conflict. Likely deployment of Djibouti's military is another indication of gravity of the situation on Ethiopia-Eritrea border. If war breaks out between Eritrea and Ethiopia, let's hope it does not, what will FRUD do? FRUD fighters. Will they support Ethiopian government's case for access to sea and fight alongside ENDF against Eritrean fighters? Will they just remain neutral? Will they focus on Djibouti? Or will they support Eritrea? Because Ibrahim Usman, the commander who is now raising an anti-prosperity party, Ethiopian Afar militia on Eritrean soil, is contacting food fighters, asking them to enter Eritrea to launch a struggle against Ethiopian Prosperity Party. Let's see what Freud decides. Freud is like Rasado, it could be a player in this conflict. Thank you for watching.